Hi guys, it's me, Sarah. This is going to be a review of Likewise's Facial Moisturizer Sunprotectant, specifically for normal to oily skin. This has an SPF of 50. It's got UVA and UVB sun protection, and it is water resistant. I believe it's sweat resistant as well. It's supposed to, the claim is that it evens out your skin tone. It's got age-defying antioxidants, and it contains vitamins B, C, and E. So specifically this one, I don't know about the one that's supposed to be for dry to normal skin. I can't really talk much about that because I don't really know anything about it and I haven't tried it at all. Just a little background, since I've just kind of jumped into this. I purchased this from Birchbox. I originally had gotten a sample from them in my regular monthly Birchbox, and I liked it. I used it for about a week and a half, and then I was like, you know what, I really need a new moisturizer because the one that I have is running out. I have noticed that my skin is oily this summer, but it's not quite as oily as it normally is in the summertime for some reason. So I went ahead and I decided to purchase this just because I wanted to control some of the oil that's that develops throughout the day when I'm wearing regular SPF or moisturizers, things like that. So I thought this would be a good choice for me, and I tried it. I hadn't had any adverse effects up until that point. So when I purchased this from Birchbox, I was really excited to try it out. And then after about a week, I started noticing some funky things happening with my skin, things that I had never seen my skin do before. So that was kind of annoying. I didn't realize that it was this moisturizer until I pretty much had to stop using it and move on to something else that was a little bit more moisturizing. So I'm just going to show you what the bottle looks like, because this is what the box looks like. Let's see if it has any further information. So it is supposed to tone imbalanced skin. It's supposed to help control blemishes. It's got some ingredients that help to do that. It's supposed to reverse the daily damage that sun can cause. I'm sorry that if I'm talking funny, I don't know why I'm like stuttering over my words. It's also got natural soy in it, along with all the other vitamins that I mentioned earlier. And they even say that you could use this as a nighttime moisturizer, and I have once on accident, and it did alright. But it's saying that it's got a non-greasy light coverage. You only need to apply a pea-sized drop to your entire face. So that already is kind of like worrisome for me. Like, you only need that much for your entire face. Typically they tell you you need a little bit more than that. I don't know, like, that's how much I use regular moisturizer. That's how much I use of regular moisturizers that actually moisturize more so than this does. So to say that this is, I don't know. I'm going to get into that in a moment. This is what the bottle looks like. So it's got the same claims on the back. I like the packaging. I think it's really nice. It's really easy to use, and I don't feel like any product is wasted in here. In terms of when you first apply it, I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. Whoops. It actually doesn't really smell like anything. So if you're afraid that it's going to smell like regular sunscreen or something, I don't get that at all. It doesn't really have a scent to it at all. It looks like normal sunscreen. So I'm going to go ahead and, so that's what it looks like. And when you put it in, it actually does leave kind of like a white cast on your hand. Or not on your hand, but on your face. I noticed that, and it's most noticeable like between, like, say, your forehead and your hairline. Like, if you're somebody who parts your hair, then you're probably going to notice, like, between the part and your face, how white this actually leaves your hand. It says it's got a non-greasy formula. I beg to differ. If you put too much on, more than a pea-sized drop, you will get like kind of a greasy, shiny film on your face. And that's just as bad as having a normal SPF on your face as far as I'm concerned. The other thing that I don't like about this is the fact that it suggests you only need a pea-sized amount. Initially, when I first started using this, I think this really dried out my skin. My skin really had to do a lot of work to get used to this. So at first, I really didn't have enough on with just the pea-size amount. Like, I could feel that, like, certain parts of my cheeks where I do have drier skin, it just wasn't getting moisturized at all. There just wasn't enough moisturizer. And furthermore, like, there were certain dry spots. Like, I use the the repairing treatment from Proactive on my blemishes if I notice anything coming up. Well, it tends to dry out your skin a little bit. Typically, when I use a regular moisturizer, that pretty much takes care of the situation, and I don't have to worry about any kind of flaking or anything showing up because it's moisturized my skin. With this, I feel like it really accentuated that, and I feel like normal sunscreen that you wear on your face does that anyhow. So in that case, I feel like it's more of a sunscreen than it is a moisturizer, a daily moisturizer, I mean. And then two, throughout the day, I will say that I hadn't noticed it getting any oilier throughout my skin. I'm not going to say that it completely banished, like, you know, the greasiness that occurs later on in the day if you've been wearing, you know, if you've just been out and about, like, throughout the day for several hours. Or if you're at work or something like that, and slowly but surely, you know, your skin starts to get oily and oilier. I mean, I feel like it helped diminish it somewhat, but it wasn't like, it didn't completely put a kibosh on all of that. So it's not like it was the end-all be-all of preventing your skin from getting oilier throughout the day. Another thing that I was kind of disappointed about was the fact that it basically, it was saying that it was supposed to even out your skin tone and things like that. I wasn't seeing any of that. And I'd used this for about 4 weeks, so that's pretty good long time to at least see some type of benefits from this. Not only was I not seeing my skin evening out in terms of like redness around random places in my face where I typically get redness. I mean, I obviously didn't think that it was going to be like a miracle when I started using it, but I didn't think that it was also going to be causing blemishes. So that was kind of disappointing, and I did end up getting several blemishes because of this moisturizer. And I know it was this moisturizer because it was the only thing that I changed throughout my skincare routine. And after I stopped using it and went back to what I was using before in conjunction with another product, which I'll get into, I noticed that my skin started clearing up. And so pretty much it was this product, which is very disappointing. And I'm not saying that this is a bad product. I'm just saying that for me, for some reason, it just didn't work out. Maybe my skin isn't oily enough. I mean, I do have pretty combination skin. My skin in general is oily. That's what I like to say. I do have certain areas of my face where I feel like they are drier than the rest of my face. So maybe I'm borderline combination oily and not necessarily full-on oily, especially now because for some reason, like I said, I've noticed that my skin isn't quite as oily as it normally is in the summer. Another thing I was really disappointed about, I have never had this issue before, ever. And I've been wearing glasses since I was 9 or 10 years old, so I've been wearing them for almost 17 years. Different frames, obviously, not the same frames. And I've had like certain skin issues before where I've had like an allergic reaction on the side of my face to the legs of glass frames because I do have a nickel allergy, so I have to be really careful when I purchase frames that I don't get anything that has nickel in it because then it will cause like an allergic reaction on my skin. So I have had things like that happen before, but I've never had anything on the bridge of my nose, ever. I do have typically larger pores on my nose, but that shouldn't really be a problem since I haven't had an issue with this before. On my nose, I don't know if you can see, but I have like these red patches here now, and they're starting to go away now that I've switched out this moisturizer with one that I trust and that I have been using and that I'm starting to use again. I also started getting like these weird random bumps, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I was thinking that maybe it was some type of acne, or maybe like these weird acne patches. I wasn't really quite sure what the problem is, and so I was using my Rock Multi-Correctional Night Treatment, which kind of basically resurfaces your skin and tries to like smooth it out at night to go ahead and do that, to smooth out the bumpiness. But it really kind of agitated it even more, so I was kind of concerned. So I started going back to use I noticed dryness, which is the key point that made me do this. I started using the Moisture Lac Gel moisturizer from Garnier, and when I used that, because I had used that on other places that I had dryness that I also thought was eczema like a couple of years ago, and that cleared it right up. So I really believe in that. So yeah, I went ahead and used that because I did have some left over from the winter, because that's what I use as my nighttime moisturizer in the winter. So I went ahead and I put it over here. The next morning, it was almost gone. Like in terms of the dryness and the bumpiness. The redness hasn't gone away. I've gone back to using my moisturizer, and I've noticed that the bumpiness pretty much is almost completely gone, although I did have to use this the other day because I have been using this when I work out. But I think I'm going to stop even doing that. But I don't know if it's something that I'm allergic to in this, because I've never been allergic to anything topically other than those all-natural soap sponge brushes or soap sponge things that they sell at Rite Aid. The point is, I don't typically have allergic reactions to things. I don't have crazy sensitive skin. So I'm not really sure what it is in this that made my skin freak out, even if it was just a minor freak out. So, I don't know, 4 weeks, I feel like that's a pretty long time to gauge whether or not this is helping my skin. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't use it. I'm just saying that for me, it just didn't work. If you have really oily skin, then I don't think that this is a bad product for you. If you have really dark skin, or you have, like, even olive tone skin, I don't know how well this is going to work for you, because it does leave a white cast. I kind of have mixed feelings, because I don't want to speak out of turn or speak badly of it, because I think initially I really did like it and I thought it did a really good job, and then after a while I just feel like, I don't know if it was clogging my pores or what the problem was, or maybe I started like building up an allergy to it. I'm not really sure, but it just didn't work well with my skin. So unfortunately I have to give this a thumbs down and not really speak very highly of it. So if you're looking for a good sunscreen to be out and doing sports, outdoors, being out in the water, what have you, I suggest the Neutrogena Sport Face. It comes in a bottle that's about the same size as the bottle here. I'll show a picture of it now. Honestly, this really didn't do anything that my Neutrogena Sport Face couldn't do, and that has never made me break out. I've never had that weird reaction that I had that I showed you on the bridge of my nose. And I use that especially when I'm working out. Last year I went to the beach. I will say I did get some freckling when I used that, and I did get some freckling when I used this too. So it's not like, you know, this is preventing freckling as opposed to the Neutrogena Sport Face. In terms of the Neutrogena Sport Face, I think the one that I have is SPF 50 as well, and that one's got broad spectrum protection, all the good stuff in it. It never made me break out, ever. It does have kind of like a sunscreeniness to it. I mean, obviously it's got kind of a little bit of an oily film and all that, but it's non-comedogenic, it's non-acne causing, it won't clog pores, all of that good stuff that you want to hear when you're putting that kind of stuff on your face, because you don't want to put something on your face that's going to cause that. Even if you're using it to prevent the sun, you may not just want to go at the sun at all. But basically, I prefer that to this because I haven't had any adverse reactions to that. That's the gist of it. Those are my recommendations. I hate giving bad reviews, and unfortunately I had to give this a bad review because I just didn't have a good experience with it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's not a good product, it just didn't work out for me. I know I've said that a couple of times already, but I feel like it's worth repeating again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this or got something from it, or if you're curious about the product, maybe it answered some of your questions. I can't remember how much I purchased it for because it was several weeks ago, several weeks ago from Birchbox.com. I'll link the link for Birchbox down below with this product in mind, and I'll also put the price somewhere in the video, maybe right now. So yeah, that's that. That's pretty much it. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or anything regarding this product or anything else in general, just go ahead and leave it down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.